If you have learned a lifelong lesson from any of your children. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. My 9-year-old daughter taught me a long life lesson. We're having a conversation with her about her career goals and what she wanted to be. I come from, and I belong to, an immigrant community that treasures some traditional professions. You have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you have to be an engineer, you have to be one of those traditional professions where we think that you have an assured livelihood, a solid income, and you don't have to gamble about anything. But my daughter told me, Dad, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a computer programmer. I want to be able to change the world. I want to be able to make a lasting impact in life before I leave here. I'm like, what? Better. He said, and she continued, she said, Dad, Mark Zuckerberg, in his tiny dorm room in Harvard, with a friend of his, founded Facebook. And that company has basically transformed the way we communicate with each other, the way we interact with each other, and the trajectory of the world in so many fundamental ways. And added to that, the young man has become so rich that he's richer than some third world countries. And look at the story of Bill Gates. In his father's garage, he founded Microsoft, a company that has spawned so many other high-tech companies and transformed the way we process information and basically conduct our day-to-day lives. Oftentimes, we got caught up in the ordinary. Some of the easiest things to do, for example, is to get a GED and settle for that dead-end job. And every day you wake up in the morning and you're wondering, what am I going to do with my life today? You drag yourself to work, you're counting the minutes, you're counting the hours, you're counting every moment at that job. And you're waiting for that 35-year-old retirement party when they're going to say, thank you very much, and give you a golden watch for all your 35 years of contribution to this establishment. And the truth of the matter is that for 35 years, you have basically been living in a shell. You have basically not done anything to put your name on the map or to transform society or to change us about anything. Oftentimes, we got caught up in doing the mundane because it is our comfort zone. It is our place of comfort. But I'm challenging you today, break out of that traditional mold that you hold yourself, that have held you down. Challenge yourself to do something bold and extraordinary. If you want to change the world, think about ways of getting about it. If you have to go back to school, go back to school. Go and study for that skill, that profession, that inspires you, that makes you look up and say, yes, I can make a difference. If you have to go and learn a trade, go ahead and learn that trade that inspires you, something you love doing. If you have to take trainings, go ahead and do that so that you can acquire that skill that can give you that opportunity to make a difference. Life is not lived well if everything you do is something that is a repetitive motion that doesn't just make any difference in your life. I started a company called Life and Times to change the narrative of what people perceive about Africa and Africans. The typical story you hear about Africa is of wars and disease and poverty. But I set about to change that stereotype by telling people that, look, there are transformational leaders out of Africa that have made so much contributions to society and the world at large. And that's how we started Life and Times, and we have done so well in the last 9 years, redefining that narrative. And I wake up every day looking forward to do this work and tell this story in so many different ways. And I'm challenging you today, what is that thing? What is that profession? What is that skill? What is that way you want to make an impact in society? What is that way you want to transform lives for the better? What is that way you want to make a change so that at the end of the day, you did not just exist, but you contributed so fundamentally to the trajectory of the history and the trajectory of life. Madam Toastmaster.